Okay.
Okay.
So, what questions might be we will be getting in the interview and on which topics that we will discuss. Okay. So, first, the first and foremost question from the interview point of view is they will look into the resume. They will look into the resume and ask if we maintain that we had did an implementation project. One implementation project చేసామని పెట్టామనుకోండి. First
Okay.
question they will ask is what are the roles and responsibilities? What are the roles and responsibilities that you had did in implementation project? This is the first question they will ask. Okay. So if they ask this kind of question, we need to tell that which are the phases that you were involved in that implementation project. Okay, means you are involved from correct. You are involved from, let's say, uh, business blueprint phase to first to till go live of the project. Okay. So in this is I mean from starting to end you are involved. So in this timeline, what you have did, so you are responsible for documentation of assets to be correct and gap analysis, right? And these are the documentation you are responsible to do, and also you are responsible to do the baseline configuration. Okay, baseline configuration in which phase? Realization phase. Okay, you're responsible for also doing baseline configuration, unit testing, documentation, right? And you are also responsible for raise a few of the rise of objects. Okay, and you are also responsible for everything. I mean, everything, whatever we have the stages in the implementation, like realization, building of new rise of objects, then cutover activities, correct? Then doing the SITs, system integration testing, doing UATs. So all these things you are responsible. You need to tell all these points actually. You should tell all these points. Then only they will understand that okay, this guy has did an implementation project. Let us say if you have mentioned a support project in your resume, then what is that you need to tell? You need to tell that you are responsible for resolving of issues related to PM in production system, right? Production system. Production system is the live system, the main production system. Okay, You are responsible for resolving of issues related to PM. What are the issues? Critical. I mean, level two and L3 issues means very critical issues, complex issues. Okay, and also responsible for delivering few of the change requests. So what is meant by change request? Change requests are nothing but in the support project, the business team will ask, I mean, the client will ask to do some configuration because there might be some requirement, and they will ask us to do some configuration and move that transport to the production system. Correct? So that they will uh, get it done through the raising of a change request. Okay. So without change request, we are also not going to do anything in the as a part of configuration, because that is the formality, or that is the process that we need to follow and respect. Okay. So any configuration related issues. Okay. So any config related issues or config related requirements. What is needed? Change request is needed. So any issues related to transactional data, or any issues, or a bug found by user, right, in production system, then what he will do? Production system, then what he will do? He will raise one support ticket. Okay. Support ticket they will raise. Okay, simple. So that is what we will do in the support project. So there is a lot of difference between the roles and responsibilities in an implementation part in a support project. So accordingly, you will tell. So next topic where the questions might come is at the master data in SAP PM. Okay, definitely they will ask questions on the master data. So what questions they might ask? So they will ask about detailed master data of SAP PM. So what are the detailed master data of SAP PM? Functional locations, equipments, correct? What then? What BOM, bill of material? Then what work centers, right? Then what measuring points, correct? Task lists. So these are all the master data of SAP PM. Functional location, equipment, BOM, work center, measuring points, task list. So you will explain each and everything. So I don't want to go into that detail. You know what are all we have covered in each of the master data. So we will need to explain like what is the meaning of functional location, why we need to create functional location, what is meant by equipment, what are all the different screens that are available in the equipment master data, in the functional location master data, right? So all these things we need to discuss or explain to the answer to them. Same case with the bill of material also. Same case with work centers, measuring points, and each T codes we need to remember. Okay, like IL01, IE01, next CS01, IB01, IB11, IR01, IK01, correct? IK05, IE05, like this. No, not IE05. Task list, right? IA05, IA05, IA01. So all these T codes you must and should tell, because this is master data, right? So everyone will expect us to tell or explain with the along with the T code. So that is definitely. If we can't able to tell the T codes for this also, then it won't create a good impression. Okay. So that is the on the master data. Okay. Next, they'll ask the questions on maintenance planning. Okay. And even in some cases, okay, in some cases, they might also, they in the sense, whoever is interviewing you, right? So questions will be also asked on what? Configs related to master data. Okay. What configs means SPRO settings. Okay. These are all the config. There are much configs, right, related to the master data we had discussed. So they might also ask the config, like what are, let's say, what are the examples they might ask. They might ask about the flock structure indicator, Okay, structure indicator, use of structure indicator. Okay, then uh, view profiles. Okay, view profiles of flock, view profiles of view profiles of, let me write here. Yeah, view profiles of functional locations, right? Then they might also ask alternative labeling of flocks, right? They might also ask related to equipment, very, very important. Definitely, they will ask equipment category configuration. Okay, then what else? Mm, equipment related. Then again, view profiles for equipments. So these kind of questions they might ask related to the technical objects. So we know, right? So the functional location and the equipment are known as a technical object. So related to technical objects, they might also ask the configs as well. Okay, config related questions. Okay, so these areas you need to be very, very thorough. Next, same case with bomb also, definitely they will ask questions on bomb as well, right? Okay, what is meant by material bomb? What is meant by equipment bomb? What is meant by functional location bomb? So all these questions they might ask. In some cases, if they might also ask about the PM assembly. We had a one separate class itself for the PM assembly construction type. So all these concepts, so you need to be a little bit thorough on those things as well. So that covers your master data. Okay, if you are thorough on those things, that is good. No questions, no more further questions they might ask. So second is maintenance planning. So what is maintenance planning? We will come to the planning part. Means planning part means what? Types of maintenance. Types of maintenance planning. Okay. What are the types of maintenance planning? Uh, types of plans available. Okay, under preventive maintenance. Under preventive maintenance. So and what else? Yeah, they will also ask the maintenance planning parameters. Okay, so what are all these? So in types of maintenance planning, what is that? We will tell that nowadays predictive maintenance. Predictive maintenance also is in very much usage, right? But standard, as per the standard PM, we do have preventive maintenance. We have breakdown maintenance, correct? Breakdown maintenance. Or breakdown also known as what? Corrective, known as reactive. So there are several names to this. And what else? What else is there? That's it. So these are the types of maintenance planning. So predictive maintenance also known as what? Condition based. Condition based maintenance. Okay. But in the standard SAP, as per the configurations and all, SAP has provided us very options related to the preventive maintenance. So how? Based on different kinds of maintenance plans. What are those maintenance plans? You do have single cycle plan, correct? We have counter based plans. We have strategy based plans. We have multi counter plans, correct? So these are the different kinds of plans available in SAP. Through these plans, we will configure or we can schedule an order or notification, whatever, right? So based on the requirement and the functionality of the particular equipment or whatever. Correct. So this individually we need to explain the each plan if they ask, okay, each plan screen and all, what is the usage of single cycle, why we use counter based, why we use strategy based, why should we need to use multiple counter. So that difference you need to know, okay. And they'll also ask the T code. Definitely they will ask T codes, that is for sure, okay. And they will also ask the what is the prerequisite setting that you need to do in order to carry out each plan. Okay, so all these things we had already covered in our videos, right? So one more thing is they will also definitely ask about call horizons. Okay, they'll also ask regarding the scheduling parameters. Not sorry, not scheduling parameters, scheduling period. Okay, scheduling period they will ask. They will ask cycle modification factor. Probably, if someone if wanted to go into deep, they will ask this cycle modification factor. Okay, then what is that? Next, shift factor completion date, shift factor completion date. So all these things they might ask. Okay, so all these things we need to be very very thorough. And what happens if the call horizon is 0%, whatever the percentage, how the scheduling period affects that. So all these things they'll ask in maintenance planning. So T codes for creating the strategy, right? IP11. T code for creating the cycle set, IP11Z. So all these things and what are all the settings that there we will have. What is meant by hierarchy there? What is meant by packaging in those T codes? So all these things they will touch. If they want to go in little bit detail level, they will ask all those. Okay. So and this is the main configuration. I mean, sorry, main area where you will get much more questions regarding the maintenance planning, right? So they will might ask what is meant by maintenance item, what is that meant by task list, correct? So how you maintain operations in the task list, how do you do packaging in the task list operations? So this kind of questions. So you need to be very very thorough on those concepts. Okay. So the third area where the questions will come is on maintenance execution. What is meant by maintenance execution? Execution is nothing but the orders, maintenance orders cycle, right? Means order cycle means what? Maintenance order cycle. So they will ask like explain the maintenance orders entire maintenance order cycle. Explain the order cycle. Okay. Explain the order cycle. They will ask means starting from the generation of a maintenance order till business completion of that particular maintenance order. What is meant by the order cycle? What all the order will undergo? So those questions, those kind of questions. Okay. Next, uh, you need to explain all the order cycle. So we have covered that as well. So along with the T codes, you need to explain the order cycle. Next question might be on, let's say, the configuration. Very, very important area where we will get several questions are configs related to PM order. Means what are all the configs that you need to do in order for an order to undergo the entire cycle. So what are the configs that we need to do? So we need to first assign order types to maintenance plans. Correct? First and foremost configuration that we need to do. Correct? And What else? We need to set the confirmation parameters for each order type, correct? For each order type with respect to plant. Next, what else? Scheduling parameters. Scheduling parameters for each order type. Okay. Next, valuation variance with respect to plant, right? OPM2 T code. Okay. So these settings and what else? Uh, the settlement related to settlement. You need to perform the allocation structure STRU, CTURE. Next, uh, indicate from cost element to cost element in settlement profile. So these are all the simple configs that everyone will ask. See, this line is not needed anyway. You know, there is no need to tell because of controlling team will take care on this particular configuration. But this configuration, as a plant maintenance guy, we need to do that. Okay. So these configs related questions also they might ask. And you know that there will be several questions related to this order cycle itself, like starting from CRTD status to CRTD status, followed with what? Release, correct? Followed with what? After release. Availability, before release only. Availability check. Next release, correct? Next followed with what? Goods issue. Followed with what? Order confirmation, correct? Followed with TECO, correct? Followed with order settlement, followed with business completion. This is also known as CLSD, correct? CLSD. So this entire you need to explain what happens whenever you do the availability check, how we will do the goods issue in Migo transaction, or where the which decode you will confirm the order. Okay, so all these things you need to tell in the order cycle. So you will get questions also in this area. Next important concept where they will ask questions are on PM integration. PM integration with MM, PM integration with majorly FICO, very very important. Okay, FICO, PM integration, let's say with PPE, correct? So this area they'll definitely ask, no doubt about that. Okay, so you need to tell them, explain them how the PM is integrated with material management, how it is integrated, where in which areas. Well, we have performed the non-stock item procurement, non-stock item procurement. Then that is closely integrated with the material management, right? Because purchase requisition will be generated, or we will convert that PR to PO, correct? And you will do the GR. So that area PM is integrated to MM. Not only non-stock item procurement, when you use PM02 control key or PM03 control key, correct? So it is very much closely integrated with MM, metal management. How about FICO? FICO with the finance and controlling, how PM is integrated. With the FICO, it is very much closely integrated on the costing part. Okay, we have dedicated videos already there. We have right for the maintenance order costing, how the costing will be captured, how it is integrated with the finance and controlling. So that area you need to be very thorough. Okay, so already you have video. That is the reason I'm not going into detail. Regarding how non-stock item procurement. Next, PM02, PM03 control key. It is very much closely integrated. Correct. How about PP? Production planning. Uh, One second. Okay, yeah. How about production planning? Production PM and PP is integrated in capacity planning related area. Okay. So capacity planning related area, PM and PP is very much closely integrated. So this area we already did the videos, right? So just go through and you need to be in a position to explain the costing part, how the cost will be displayed, what is meant by planned cost, what is meant by actual cost, how the planned cost gets calculated, when the actual cost gets calculated, what are all the configurations that we need to do. So I think day 19 or day 20, those two classes we had already covered the entire costing also. Okay. So that area you need to be very, very thorough. Next questions will be on your refurbishment, definitely. Refurbishment and calibration. Okay, definitely you will get questions on refurbishment orders, calibration orders, internal refurbishment, internal refurbishment, external refurbishment. Okay, next calibration related questions. So we have already dedicated videos on these things. What are all the configurations? What settings we maintained? How it works, everything. So you need to be you need to go through and understand this concepts also. Okay. So next would be majorly we have covered. Okay, the many of the things. Next questions will be on rise of objects. Okay, rise of W objects. So rise of W objects, we have also dedicated 11 classes on rise of objects, right? So you need to be very thorough on one or two examples at least. One or two examples you need to be able to explain. Two examples for reports, two examples for interface, conversions, forms, enhancements, workflows. Two examples. If you don't know example also, at least for reports interfaces, you must and should tell some of the business scenario, real-time business scenario. So this part we have very much well covered in 11 classes. Okay, so just I would recommend just to go through those classes. You'll get very good idea on those things on the rise of objects also. So basically the questions will be on these areas only. Okay, if you want to go into further deep, then for each. Okay, one second, let me connect the charger. Okay, yeah. So these are all the areas where you'll get definite questions. in an interview. So if you are thorough on these particular things, then yeah, that is very much enough to crack in the interview.